Welcome back to the Coffee Break, a gaming pit stop. I'm your host, Cup of Coffee, and today we're diving into something a lot of us struggle with, balancing work, gaming, and content creation. Well, for those of us that do create content, whether you're working long shifts, juggling responsibilities, or just trying to find time to enjoy gaming, I feel you. So let's talk about the struggle of fitting gaming into a busy life. Plus, we've got some big gaming news this week. GTA 6's release window, Avowed's dev team connections, Metroid Prime 4's status, and a new Battlefield game in the works. And of course, we're highlighting an awesome content creator in this week's Creator Spotlight. Grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's jump in. All right, let's be real. Finding time to game when you work a full-time job, sometimes 8 to 10 hours a day, maybe more, 5 days a week, is tough. Is it impossible? No, but it is tough. And if you're someone who wants to create content, whether you're streaming, you're doing YouTube videos, you're doing reviews, or a podcast like this one right here, that's a whole nother level of stress. For me, I've been doing this thing for a while, and what I always find is I have no problem generating the ideas that I want to do. But where I run into my issues is after a long shift, sometimes I just want to work. I just want to crash. I don't want to do nothing else. I just want to go to sleep. I just want to sit on the couch and watch some TV. But at the same time, I also want to play and experience new games, especially if I want to review them or make content out of them. So it's a constant push and pull between wanting to enjoy gaming and feeling like I have to be productive with it. I've known quite a few content creators that have struggled with this. You can't just sit down and game for fun all the time. I guess you could, but if you're somebody like me that wants to share it with people, it's hard to do that. And sometimes you're thinking about how to make the content out of it, or you're playing with the pressure of finishing a game quickly just to try to stay relevant. Whether you're looking for smaller games to play or just doing the first few hours so you can get that review out. And if you're a smaller creator, you don't always have direct, immediate access to the newest games coming out. So then you're wrestling against bigger creators that are already pushing that content out. So it really becomes a challenge. But if you are passionate about it and doing it, there's always a way to manage it. And that leads me to, my next point, a question. How do you manage it? For me, I've started with things like setting small gaming goals. Sometimes I've tried to play like as long as I can through a weekend, get as many clips as I can, try to get as much footage as I can, and, generated ideas that way. Sometimes I break it down into smaller sessions, especially if it's a game I really enjoy. I try to mix in games that I want to play just for fun with the games that I want to review and share with people. And I try to do the thing where I play the games that I want to play, that I want to review, so people would want to play them too. I don't want to just review something I wasn't really interested in the first place. But what about you? How do you balance work, gaming, life? I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on this. And it is a struggle. It is a challenge. There's been numerous times where I've created schedules. I've created ideas on how to do it. This week, I created a whole stream schedule, how I was going to do my streams, and I think I did one stream, and I got mad because I'm on my Soulsborne journey, which you can check out in my previous episode of what that consists of. And I got mad because I just kept dying. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Then I was running into internet issues, and then the rest of the week was just exhaustion, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. So, so it's always a constant battle, but I stay trying to balance it because it is something that I love to do. So in any case, I want to hear y'all's thoughts. Hit me up on social media or let me know in the comments. Now it's time for our gaming news roundup. GTA 6 release date still set for fall of 2025. Despite speculation of potential delays, Rockstar and Take-Two remain firm on their fall 2025 launch window for Grand Theft Auto 6. This report comes from IGN, where Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick reassured fans, stating, quote, "We feel really good about it. With how massive this game is shaping up to be, do you think Rockstar will stick to the schedule, or are we looking at a delay?" I would like to think that it is going to come out. I think that they've been working on it for a long time. There was a little bit of a delay when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, so I think they're justified if they do delay it. I think with a big game, a big title like that, you want it to release with very minimal issues. So if they delay it, it's not a big deal, honestly. I mean, there's going to be the people that want to critique that, but at the same time, would you rather play a game that isn't fully fleshed out, or would you rather get a full, complete product? Me, I would like the latter. Story number 2. Avowed's dev team features Pillars of Eternity veterans. Avowed is shaping up to be an exciting action RPG, and according to GamesRadar, roughly a third of the development team previously worked on Pillars of Eternity. Game director Kerry Patel also teased some crossover elements, stating, quote, "Players may see some familiar faces from the world of Eora," unquote. That's great news for Obsidian fans. Are you excited to see how much Pillars lore makes its way into Avowed? I've never been one that played Pillars of Eternity, but I am absolutely looking forward to playing Avowed. So for me, this is the first time diving into that world. But for people of the universe that are familiar with the games, that are familiar with some of the lore and the ideas, I think this is cool for them because it sets up the expansion of this world and of this universe. So, I mean, I think that's really cool that they're trying to continue that and trying to keep it going. Story number 3. Metroid Prime 4 is still set for 2025. Nintendo has confirmed once again that Metroid Prime 4 is still on track for a 2025 release. This news comes from GameSpot, who reported that, quote, "The game remains in development with no changes to its planned launch window. With such a long wait since its original announcement, do you think this will live up to the hype?" I mean, I gotta be perfectly honest with y'all. And I think I say this a lot about quite a few games. I wasn't one of those people that was like immersed in the Metroid lore and games. I mean, I just didn't play them. But I also came from an environment where I didn't have the ability to get games or play a bunch of different games growing up. And, as I got older, it wasn't until I got very later into my 20s and my 30s that I was able to get the stuff I wanted to play and really immerse myself in different games and different franchises. But I think that's dope, and I think that it really does align with the Switch 2 coming out. I think this possibly could be on Switch 1 as well as Switch 2. So I think it is a good title that can cross over onto both platforms, and it still keeps the franchise relevant going into, the later half of the year into next year. Story number 4, our final story. EA confirms a new Battlefield game is coming. EA has officially announced that a new Battlefield game is in development, with plans to launch within the next 2 years. Video Games Chronicle reported that EA is aiming to deliver a, quote, "highly immersive and engaging Battlefield experience," in hopes of regaining fan trust after Battlefield 2042's rocky launch. Can the franchise make a big comeback, or is it past its prime? I think Battlefield is always going to be one of those games that the fan base will always give it another chance. And the reason I say that is because there was a point in time where Battlefield was a game series, a game franchise that people were playing just as much as Call of Duty. I mean, there for a while, they were going neck and neck. And when Battlefield 1 came out, it was the same thing. I think, what was it, Battlefield 5? Was that the other one that had came out? Where they actually did really well. It wasn't until they changed the formula and tried to go to 2042 that things just kind of went out the window, and they kind of, set themselves up for failure a little bit on that one. At the same time, the fans were still there, ready to give it another chance, look for a new Battlefield game. And from the footage that they did show in the trailers, it does look like this might be another opportunity to really be able to dive into something fresh in terms of, PvP, PvE, combat role, combat action, first-person shooter gameplay. And with the vehicles and the different environments, I think Battlefield definitely stands a chance to revitalize itself. Now it's time for this week's Creator Spotlight, where I highlight a dope content creator you should check out. This week, it's HuggableHipster, a gaming content creator who brings a deep, analytical approach to gaming discussions and reviews. If you're someone who loves thoughtful breakdowns of game mechanics, storytelling, and industry trends, she's got you covered. One of the things that stands out about HuggableHipster is her ability to combine gaming with unique insights into character development, game design choices, and player experiences. She doesn't just play games, she dissects them. She covers a mix of games and gives a well-researched, in-depth take on the industry. Whether you're a casual gamer or someone who likes to analyze the deeper meaning behind your favorite games, her content is worth checking out. You can find her at YouTube, X, and Blue Sky. Go give her a follow and let her know Kawfee sent you. That's going to wrap up this week's episode of the Coffee Break, a gaming pit stop. What are your thoughts on GTA 6's release date, Avowed, or Metroid Prime 4? And how do you balance gaming with a busy life? Hit me up on social media or leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow gamers. You can catch this episode on YouTube, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.